Part 8. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 71. After returning to the city, the Yang family learned about the two of them. Even though Yang Yu protected Ding Yi in every possible way, the Yang family still did not want to accept him. The repeated disagreements created a gap between Yang Yu, who had always been obedient, and his family. On the contrary, the relationship between the two people became more and more intense, and they even rented a house and lived outside. The Yang family only has one daughter. She is so precious, so why would she want to hurt her feelings? If the daughter gets pregnant while living together, it will be even more troublesome later. So they pretended to compromise on the surface, recruited Ding Yi, and then led an army. They proposed that Yang Yu was born not long after the family planning program, so she was an only daughter. The Yang family was quite prosperous and they did not want to end the lineage. So if Ding Yi was willing to marry into the family and have children with the Yang family name in the future, they just agreed to this marriage. Moreover, the wedding expenses were all borne by the Yang family. Their original intention was to let Ding Yi retreat when he saw the difficulties. Ding Yi was born in a rural area where the thinking was more conservative and the blood lineage was more important, so he would definitely not agree. Yang Yu was also happy when he heard it. She also doesn't want to leave her parents, she wants to stay with her parents forever, and she wants to make up for her grandfather's regrets. Although the countryside is fun, it is too hard and not as comfortable as the city. She doesn't want to have to run to the countryside often in the future. So, she also persuaded Ding Yi to marry him. Ding Yi didn't expect this. The Yang family was too cruel and snobbish. This was clearly a slap in his face and made him even more resentful. But he did not refuse outright, but said that he would go home and discuss it with his parents. No one expected that Mother Ding would come all the way the next day. She actually agreed to her son's marriage. They burst into tears and said that it was not easy for their children to get into the imperial examination from the countryside and go to the capital. They hoped more than anyone else that their children would be able to get ahead and not have to live a hard life. Rural people can't do anything to help, which makes them feel guilty and worried all the time. After their son got together with Yang Yu, they felt even more indebted. Yang Yu is so beautiful. It is a blessing that their son can be with her for several lifetimes. They hope that the two of them can last forever. But they still couldn't help. For this reason, she and her husband cried several times, fearing that their son would miss such a good girl due to poor conditions. Now, if we can keep the two children away from each other and allow the son to take root in the capital, let them do whatever they want, not to mention marrying into the family. The hearts of parents all over the world are pitiful. Mother Ding's heartfelt words indeed moved the Yang family slightly. Old man, isn't it true that the countryside pays more attention to ancestry? Why would you be so generous and send your own son to someone else's home? Is it really so grand? Mother Ding disapproved. Hey, isn't he the only son in my family? Don't I have another son? Their uncles have many nephews, and he is the only one to continue the family. My family doesn't have much property, so in the future, the land, the house, etc. are all left to his brother, and the care of our old couple until they die can also be left to his brother and sister. Compared with Ding Yi, Ding's mother speaks more realistically and makes every sentence reasonable. The Yang family originally asked for the marriage just to embarrass Ding Yi, but now they are really tempted. Yang Yu was the only child of the Yang family. If she gave it to someone else, the money left by the family would also be used to benefit outsiders in the future. It's good to marry into the family, and the Yang family can continue to live on. If the old man has a successor, he will be content in this life. If Yang Yu has such a husband who will neither endure hardship nor accept anger, she will still be a little princess. From now on, I don't have to take care of my parents-in-law, they are far away, and I don't even have to provide for them in their old age. The burden is much lighter. In the future, I can only provide some money, which is not a big deal. From this point of view, a well-matched young man would definitely not agree. When the Yang family put it all together, they felt more and more good about it. Recently, Yang Yu told her everything about what Ding Yi had done for her in the past. Although Ding Yi was a little thoughtful, he seemed to have nothing to say about Yang Yu. As long as the couple has a good relationship, other problems may be solved. The Yang family hasn't completely made up their mind yet, but something is going on over there. Ding's mother made a pot of soup in their rental house, and went to school the next day to deliver soup to Yang Yu. She asked and walked all the way around, and it took her half an hour and half of the school to find Yang Yu. The message spread to 10, and so almost everyone who knew Yang Yu knew that her boyfriend's mother had brought her soup. Rumors suddenly started, and they sent soup properly. Is it possible that she got pregnant because they lived together? Suddenly, there was an uproar in the school, and even the dean of students came to talk to Yang Yu. However, Ding's mother had good intentions. Faced with Ding's mother, who took the initiative to admit her mistake, Yang Yu really couldn't say anything. The Yang family wants to lose face, and the child's reputation will be ruined. If this doesn't work, won't it become a joke in the future? So, the Yang family quickly made a decision and agreed to let the two of them get married as soon as they graduate from their senior year. In addition, the Yang family also promised that they would provide the house for the wedding, decorate the home, pay for the wedding expenses, arrange the children's jobs, and provide the cars when the children were stable. Ding Yi doesn't need to change his surname, as long as the child he gives birth to has the same surname as the Yang family. Mother Ding was very moved and praised her family's grandeur. She immediately took off the family heirloom on her wrist, a gold bracelet, as a gift to Yang Yu. Time passed quickly and the two got married sweetly. As a visiting son-in-law, Ding Yi did a good job in his duty. He cared about Yang Yu as if he were a princess. He was even more caring and considerate to his elders. He was almost always on call and contributed to everything. The two gave birth to a boy the next year, and the child was registered as a child and named Yang Rui. The Ding family also kept a distance. Only when Yang Yu was in confinement, Ding's mother brought her sister-in-law Ding Xia to stay with her for a month. Thanks to them taking care of her, Yang's father was in poor health at that time and Yang's mother couldn't leave. Ding's mother made good soups and dishes at home. Ding Xia delivered meals to the hospital 3 times a day, and often went to deliver food to the old man. After a month of this busy schedule, the Yang family's opinion of the down-to-earth and capable Ding family was almost gone. Yang's father was grateful for the Ding family's help and gave Ding Yi 20,000 yuan to buy something for his parents and sisters. Ding's mother knew about this. She took the money and came to the door with righteous words, saying that she would never accept it. The day Mother Ding left, she did not forget to buy good food and cook for the young couple. She kept the house clean and the refrigerator was full. Mother Yang, who came to take care of her daughter and grandson, saw this and felt a little ashamed of herself. It seemed that compared to Mother Ding, she had a villainous heart and was less refined. At this point, the Yang family, including the old man, has greatly changed their view of the Ding family. Another 2 years have passed, and the Yang family's opinion of Ding Yi in the early years has long since disappeared. Although Ding Yi looks a little gloomy, he is honest about his duties. Whether it is raising children or taking care of the family, he does a good job and always takes care of his family every weekend. I will have family fun with my family and never miss it. At the end of 2007, taking advantage of the Olympic fever and seeing housing prices rising, the old man decided to buy a large apartment for the young couple. At this point, the two of them had 2 apartments, and Father Yang and Mother Yang bought a better and safer car for them. In the Olympic year, the whole country was rejoicing. Yang Yu's family of 3 moved into a new house. The Yang family's parents also invited the Ding family to visit the capital. But after August, sister-in-law Ding Xia's husband did not want to leave. He wanted to find a job in the capital. Ding Xia was quick with her hands and was good at cooking, so the Yang family's parents liked her quite a lot and took the initiative to arrange a job for the two of them in the workplace canteen with good benefits. Ding Xia was going to rent a house, but Ding Yi stopped her. The old house they had just vacated was not intended to be rented out, so they let Ding Xia and her husband live there. Yang Yu had no objection to this, and the two elders of the Yang family didn't say anything. Ding Xia and his wife were embarrassed to live in vain, so they took the initiative to take on a lot of housework for the three families. Everyone in the Yang family was full of praise for Ding Xia and his wife. After the Olympic Games, the old man's health deteriorated rapidly and he could no longer live alone, so he moved back to live with Yang's father and Yang's mother. In the same year, Yang's mother also fell ill. Yang Yu is busy taking care of the elderly and has no time to take care of her own family and children. Thanks to my mother-in-law, she came to Beijing to help take care of the children. At Ding Yi's suggestion, Ding Xia quit her job and devoted herself to helping take care of the elderly in the Yang family. Finally, life was stable again, and the Yang family was a little more grateful to the Ding family. That year, the old man's dementia gradually worsened, and Ding Yi's name was included in the will he made. Ding Yi received some calligraphy and painting antiques. 95% of the other things still have the surname Yang. There are also some conflicts between Yang Yu and Ding Yi. Ding Yi always wanted Yang Yu to have another child, but Yang Yu refused. 2 years ago, Ding Yi did something to make Yang Yu pregnant again. Yang Yu looked at the pregnancy test stick and didn't have time to go to the hospital for a checkup. She suffered from ectopic pregnancy and massive bleeding, and almost lost her life. From then on, Yang Yu didn't want to give birth anymore. For this reason, she and Ding Yi quarreled several times, and finally understood that Ding Yi wanted a second child because he wanted a child with his surname. Therefore, he still cares about getting married. The next year, Yang's mother was hospitalized with a leg disease, and Yang's father stayed with her in bed. Ding Xia went to deliver food. When she came home, she found that the old man had fallen at home and died. Yang's father was devastated when the old man passed away. Yang's father was also hospitalized before Yang's mother was discharged from the hospital. Since then, Father Yang's health has not been very good. 2 years later, Yang's father was gone too. Yang Yu almost collapsed. Thanks to Ding Yi, except for Yang's mother, the only one left in her world was Ding Yi. After all arrangements for his father's funeral were made, Yang Yu returned to his old house one day. She missed Ding's mother's cooking. Now Ding's mother is raising her children in the old house. She is very grateful to Ding's mother. But that day, she saw the car her family bought for Ding Yuxin the year before last downstairs in the old house. She was pleasantly surprised to find that Ding Yi was also back for dinner. But not really. On the stairs, she was still one floor short of reaching home, when she heard Mother Ding enthusiastically sending someone off. Then, while going upstairs, she passed by a woman coming downstairs. That woman is young, beautiful, and fashionable, and has a nice smell of perfume. Driving Ding Yi's car to find Ding's mother? What's the relationship between them and this woman? Yang Yu had an idea, hurried downstairs, drove to follow, and soon followed him to the downstairs of an apartment. She froze. She remembered seeing the introduction of this property in Ding Yi's study the year before last. She thought that Ding Yi was going to change rooms, but Ding Yi said that someone had stuck an advertisement in the car. Yang Yu could not help but have random thoughts, so she waited in a corner near Ding Yi's car in the underground parking lot. 2 hours later, she saw Ding Yi appearing with a woman in his arms. An even more terrifying scene appeared. His eyes were soft and gentle, and he gently stroked the woman's belly with his hand. The woman was coquettish and angry, but he pulled her over and kissed her several times on the forehead. Then he gently opened the car door and coaxed the woman into the passenger seat. Not only was the warmth in Ding Yi's eyes stinging Yang Yu, but also the woman's belly. Yang Yu, who was struck by a bolt from the blue, followed the two of them again. Finally, he followed him to the courtyard. Yang Yu did some mental construction for half an hour outside before taking the key to open the door and quietly walked in. Then she confirmed everything that needed to be confirmed. The woman said her stomach couldn't wait any longer. The man asked the woman, "Are you satisfied with the courtyard house with one price per year? He has already succeeded more than halfway, just wait for him for another year. Then the courtyard and all these antiques belong to them. He will definitely make them worry-free for the rest of their lives and let their children live a life like a human being. When the time comes, they and their entire family will live in this courtyard, making everyone envious of them." Yang Yu collapsed completely and almost didn't know how he left. Therefore, the Ding family are all liars. She was afraid, how could Ding Yi achieve what he wanted? Could the previous family accident have something to do with him? The next day, while Ding's mother was sending her children to school, Yang Yu took someone to install eavesdropping equipment in the old house. Soon, during the exchange between Ding's mother and Ding Xia, she discovered that not only her parents' illness, but also her grandfather's dementia were inseparable from the Ding family. Thinking of her parents and grandfather eating from Ding Xia for several years, she felt horrified. Suddenly she woke up and decided to take revenge. She began to collect evidence and also sought help from a professional private investigator. But Yang Yu didn't know that Ding Yi also found someone to keep an eye on her in order to complete the plan faster. Knowing that he was exposed, Ding Yi led Yang Yu to the courtyard that day and attacked her violently. Ding Yi took her mobile phone to ask for travel leave from the work and locked her in the basement. 3 days later, Ding Yi brought a will. He took Yang Yu's life and threatened Yang's mother, who had been in a wheelchair for a long time. Yang's mother could not escape from home and was watched by Ding Xia, who could not call the police. Worried about her daughter's safety, she could only sign and change the will under the arrangement of Ding Yi. The property originally signed by her husband and given to her daughter and grandson was changed to that of her daughter and grandson. Son-in-law's name. After you die, everyone in the Yang family will change their surname to Ding. Little by little Ding Yi told Yang Yu that he never loved her and even hated her. The woman he loves must be the kind who listens to him, looks up to and worships him, and obeys his words. She is definitely not like this. The reason why he chased her for so many years was because he heard that her family had money and could also find work. He just wanted to take root in the capital, but they cheated on him and made him marry into his wife. If the Yang family weren't so despicable, he might really have a good life with her. If the Yang family were not so shrewd, he might not have killed one after another with such ruthlessness. If she was willing to give him another one with his last name, he might be merciful. If she didn't break out and try to harm him, he might just take some money and leave, at least leaving her alive. Now, he has no choice. When she dies, he will behave well and pretend to be miserable for a few years. He will change Yang Rui's surname and all the Yang family's property will be his. He will take good care of Yang's mother, and he will be a filial son even after Yang's mother suffers from dementia. He will take care of her funeral arrangements and let her go underground and have enough money to spend. Everyone knows that he is kind and honest, and no one will doubt him. Then, Yang Yu was given a large amount of sleeping pills. She begged and cried, but to no avail. She finally passed away with great regret, pain, and worry for her mother. 2 chapters in 1. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 72. Help me protect my family and property, and help me punish the murderers. If possible, I want a new life. This is Yang Yu's request. Then, Taoran had no time to sigh. After a moment of dizziness, he came into a strange body. After a few seconds, she opened her eyes. The light was dim and it was night. Moonlight shines through the window. She was lying on the bed covered with a red satin dragon and phoenix quilt. Under her body was an old-style wooden bed. There was a white Western-style dressing table beside the bed. The decoration of the whole room was nondescript and tasteful. After brushing her memory, she knew. In April 2008, Ding Xia's son was 1 month old. Ding Yi felt a little awkward about not returning to his hometown during the New Year, so Yang's father and Yang's mother asked Yang Yu to come back with him to visit relatives. That time, they stayed in the countryside for 5 full days after leaving their children with Yang's mother. It should be the night I just came back. Tao Ran breathed a sigh of relief. Although the time could not go back to the time when he was in college, it was still not too late for Ding Yi to take action against the Yang family. There was snoring coming from beside me. Turning on the light, he turned around and saw Ding Yi sleeping soundly with a smile on his face. Tao Ran felt even more disgusted when he felt a pig's paw on his waist. Now she felt that the first thing to do was to tell the men around her to stay away. She couldn't sleep with this man. Yang Yu would not be happy, and she was even more disgusted. Tao Ran clenched his fist and looked at Yang Yu's limp little fist with dissatisfaction. She took a deep breath to build up her strength, lifted up Ding Yi's sleeves to loosen her body a bit, and then kicked Ding Yi hard on the waist. Wouldn't it be possible to cheat and have children? Just kick him in the kidneys. The moment she exerted her strength, she became even more dissatisfied. Yang Yu has always been pampered, and she usually doesn't use any strength, but her strength is too insufficient. This kick can't even kick people out of bed, which is a pity. Feeling dissatisfied, she slapped him away again, then slapped him on the waist, and the guy finally rolled off the bed. Ding Yi slept soundly. In the dream, he was wearing a crisp white designer suit, driving a luxury car, with his shiny hair, returning home in fine clothes. When they knew he was coming home, the villagers were waiting at the head of the village. The boys kept playing gongs and drums, the girls held flowers, the uncles set off firecrackers, and the aunts sang and danced happily. Surrounded by everyone, he took out his briefcase and scattered the wads of banknotes, and the village was filled with joy. The village chief said that he would allocate land for him to build a statue in the village. The village chief's wife said that all the girls in the village wanted to marry him, and they had already made a list and were waiting for him to choose. Sitting on the soft chair prepared by the village chief, he glanced at the whole row of blushing girls who were secretly looking at him. He felt excited and made a bold statement: he would give a new mobile phone to every house in the village. The villagers cheered and surrounded him, lifted him up together, and threw him high again. But who would have thought? Chirp. No one caught him. He landed hard. I felt pain in my waist, heat in my face, and numbness in my waist. My whole back hit the ground, it hurt like hell. Ding Yi woke up from his dream, clutched his waist, opened his eyes and stood up, only to find that he had rolled from the bed to the ground. He was a little confused. He just rolled down. Why did his face and waist still hurt? Ding Yi, you bastard, Yang Yu's trembling voice came. Only then did Ding Yi realize that Yang Yu was not on the bed, but also on the ground. You've been scolding me in your dreams, and you pushed me out of bed. Do you really hate me that much? Yang Yu asked loudly with an angry look on his face. Ding Yi was dumbfounded. Did I push you? He felt guilty. Could it be that in his dream, he accidentally expressed all the hatred in his heart? You, it's too late for me to love you, so why would I push you away? Are you dreaming? He climbed up, supported his waist and walked towards Yang Yu, squatted down and smiled. I think it was you who pushed me out of bed in a dream. He touched his burning face and seriously suspected that it was Yang Yu who hit him. Get up quickly, the ground is cold. Ding Yi stretched out his hand, and Yang Yu quickly kicked out again, telling Ding Yi to sit down. Yang Yu stood up with a sneer. The bed is so small, I didn't sleep all night, what were I dreaming about? You pushed me to the ground, I struggled and kicked you. Ding Yi, you haven't answered me yet. Why did you scold me and hit me? You hate me in your heart, don't you? At this time, whoever feels guilty loses. Naturally, Chaoran would not let go of the opportunity, so he took the pillow and threw it at Ding Yi again. I have nothing to do. For the first time, Ding Yi saw Yang Yu, whose eyes were full of cold light, and who was thousands of miles away. He was terrified, fearing that the secret in his dream would be revealed. Yu, can you take your dream seriously? You still don't know who I am. When have I ever cursed or hit someone? I've always been honest. Yang Yu sneered. You don't curse or hit people, you just kill people. The bed must have been a little cramped, so I bumped into you accidentally. Don't you rely on you for having a small bed? Last year, my family gave your Ding family 200,000 yuan to build and renovate this house. At that time, my parents did it for your good looks and for me to come back and live in a better place occasionally. But 200,000 yuan, you didn't even buy a bed, you just bought a dressing table to fool me. You guys are so embarrassed. Yu, one code equals one code. This is frugality. How could you be fooled? Let me see if it's hurt. He quickly changed the subject. When the Yang family asked about the price, he said it would be about 200,000 yuan for renovation. However, materials are cheap in the village, and labor is even more cost-effective. The total cost of covering and painting is 80,000 yuan. Of the remaining 120,000 yuan, he took 80,000 yuan and divided the rest among his parents. Yang Yu always didn't care about this. He thought she was innocent, but she turned out to be so petty, so he kept it in his heart. Ding Yi was a little unhappy, but he still smiled and went up to pull the person. Don't touch me. Either get out or explain everything to me. Including the cost of building this house. Yang Yu grabbed a glass of water by the bedside and poured it over. Ding Yi was splashed with water on his face, and he was stunned for several seconds before saying, "It's too late, stop making trouble. I'll go out first. You calm down. If anything happens, we'll talk about it tomorrow. I'll go sleep with my brother, and you can have a good rest. Call me if you need anything." Ding Yi left. Chaoran breathed a sigh of relief and quickly locked the door. It seems that in order to avoid sleeping with a scumbag, she will have to find trouble from time to time. She dug out a new set of sheets and quilts from the cabinet, and after changing them, she crawled back into bed and sighed. This script is much more difficult than the last one. Yang Yu lost all her close relatives because of her scumbag. Those pains and regrets were much heavier than Yechin's. When she comes, she will naturally protect these people, but what should she do to make those evildoers pay the price? Fortunately, the flow of time in the story seemed to be much slower than in her real world. The last 20 days in her world only lasted more than 20 minutes, so she didn't have to rush as fast as the last time. You can have more time. This countryside is really not the home field. How about returning to the city first? Chaoran decided to find a way to return to the city tomorrow. Thanks to Bookstore Ian for the reward of the daily Lying Corpse Baby. Express your feelings. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 73. Chaoran thought about it briefly. Yang Yu and Ding Yi's marriage is bound to end. But not yet. The two have been married for more than 4 years. Not only did Ding Yi take away a lot of money, but even Yang Yu's salary card was in Ding Yi's hands. The reason is simple. Yang Yu spends money lavishly. Compared with Ding Yi, who is thrifty and capable, the latter is naturally more suitable for managing money. Of course, what's more important is that Yang Yu is willing. She was afraid that Ding Yi would feel inferior because of his wife's marriage. For the sake of the man's face, she always found ways to support him. Yang Yu herself is not short of money. She has been managing money since college with the pocket money given by her parents. She has her own small treasury. So soon after starting work, Yang Yu gave her salary card to Ding Yi and asked him to help keep it, and she didn't ask him about it for many years. After so many years, this salary should be more than 100,000 yuan. The money is unreasonably cheap for Ding. In addition, their two houses were named after two people, so she had to think about how to let the person named Ding leave the house. Feeling sleepy, Taoran had not yet made up his mind and decided to have a good sleep. When I woke up it was already bright. This day is the day when the Ding family holds a happy event. There was a lot of noise outside, and many relatives of the Ding family came to help. It was already busy inside and outside. After Ding Yi, Ding Ma, and Ding Xia knocked on the door each time, Taoran slowly opened the door. Ding Yule apologized and went back to greeting relatives. Taoran calmed down and took his time to wash up and have breakfast. Then he made a cup of coffee, stood in front of the door of the second-floor white building of Ding's house, and started to sip it. Her aloof and cold look on the sidelines was in stark contrast to the busy crowd. They are too distinct, like two worlds that are incompatible with each other, giving some people an overwhelming sense of inferiority. She turned a blind eye to the weird looks from the Ding family members who glanced at her secretly, dared not express their anger, or even dared to show their emotions. They couldn't stand her, couldn't kill her, and even nodded and bowed to her. Emotions, which she enjoys, may not be a little torture to them. Taoran glanced over. This morning, red lanterns were hung high, small colorful flags were flying, and there were dozens of tables in front of the door. The battle is not small. When Ding Yi got married, because he had not yet made any money, and because his in-laws did not come, the Ding family only had 8 tables for him in the countryside and simply invited some relatives. For this reason, Ding's mother always felt that she was shameless. This time, it was a rare opportunity to show off. It was rare that Ding Yi and his wife returned to their hometown. Taking advantage of the fact that Ding Xia's son was 1 month old, the Ding family straightened their backs and planned to do something big. They agreed with their uncle's family that they would do it at Ding's house today and then go to his house tomorrow, so that both sides could have light. The Ding family is willing to spend money, and of course my uncle's family has no objection. It would be great if the children can receive more gifts. Therefore, today's banquet will be held on the cement field in front of Ding's house. Yang Yu sneered coldly. I remember when Yang Yu first came to the countryside, the Ding family was extremely poor. The house was in tatters and there were not even a few good chairs. They were almost one of the poorest families in the village. But after marrying a girl from the city, the Ding family stopped farming and went to the mountains. They focused on helping their son plan the money for his wife's family in the city. If nothing else happens, the money for the banquet this time will also be counted on the Yang family. Before Taoran finished drinking the coffee, Ding's mother showed her white teeth. Daughter-in-law, can you do me a favor? Mother Ding pulled her into the room with a smile on her face. Tell me about it. You know, we country people want to save face, so Xiao Yi didn't tell the villagers about his marriage. In their eyes, you are the daughter-in-law of my Lao Ding family, the village is backward and everything depends on customs. Wife, can you, for mom's sake, do more work and talk less later? Just to give face to Xiao Yi and the Ding family. Taoran understood. Today, we don't want her to come to the table to eat, but we want her to work hard. There are a lot of bad habits here. When the host's family is a guest, the host's woman must show that she is capable and hard-working, so naturally she will not be invited to the table. And her domineering image just now, standing in front of the door and refusing to do anything, was obviously not only disgusted by Ding's family, but also made Ding Yi laugh at him. The more she, a city daughter-in-law, is suppressed, the more Ding Yi's success will be revealed. The more determined she is to do anything, the more clearly Ding Yi is able to control his wife. The harder she works, the more Dingyi becomes the winner in life. A poor and white rural boy was so desperate that a rich and beautiful girl with a car and a house in the city was so determined. This shows how capable this young man is. Everyone is envious, the Ding family has more glory. You don't show up often, so everyone is curious about you. You have only been married for a few years, and you are considered a new wife. You should show yourself well, let them see how capable the girls in the city are, and let everyone give you a thumbs up. Tao Ran found it funny. Do the girls in the city deserve to be represented by her? Do you need the approval of these people? So, whose inferiority complex is this covering up? Whose vanity is satisfied? Yang Yu did follow the instructions back then, but what did he get in the end? What do you want me to do? You change into neat clothes, tie up your hair, and put on the gold bracelet mom gave you. You can do it to mom later. I can't cook. There is no need for you to be a cook when cooking. Just serve the dishes and help wash the dishes afterwards. Mom only asks for this, and I am wronging you. Okay, Mother Ding's eyes were sincere. Mom, I beg you, please keep me safe. The Yang family loses face. Tao Ran, who had not yet decided what to do next, showed a standard sweet smile, hummed, turned around and left. She walked around, went out from the backyard to find a remote place and called 114. She reported her address and inquired about nearby stations and vehicle information. In this era, domestic smartphones have just started and are still in the research and development stage. Mobile phones do not have navigation and precise search functions, and even taking pictures is blurry. This was something Tao Ran was not used to. But after 10 minutes of talking nonsense with 114, she still didn't figure out how to leave this corner as quickly as possible without asking for help. If she wants to return to Beijing, she must first leave the village, then drive to the town, take a bus to the provincial capital, and then take a plane. If she can't find a ride, she may have to walk on the mountain road by herself. But with her thin arms and legs, not to mention whether she can accurately climb out of the mountain, even her physical strength is a big problem. Sighing, she returned to the second floor from the small stairs in the back garden. When she returned to her room and was about to close the door, she heard footsteps. Someone is coming upstairs. The moment the door sewed shut, she saw the two women coming upstairs. With a flash of memory, Tao Ran peeked through the crack in the door again. Two women, one is Ding Xia. The other one has a slim figure with a high ponytail. She is wearing a long-sleeved waist-length dress with a white background and a red cherry pattern, paired with a red short sweater. She is quite fashionable among the rural girls and looks youthful, refreshing and delicate and gorgeous. Ha! Tao Ran narrowed his eyes. No wonder it looks familiar, I never expected it. This woman was the Sanner who later got together with Ding Yi and became pregnant with a child. Thank you to the beautiful Princess Shahu, Qinglian, and Bookstore Ian for your daily gifts. I love you so much. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 74. Yang Yu had a very deep memory of this woman who smiled happily and fell into Ding Yi's arms, so Tao Ran would never admit her mistake. I thought that Ding Yi met that woman later because he wanted to continue the family lineage, but it seems that it may not be that simple. It turns out she is a fellow villager. It turns out that she can come and go at will in this home. It turns out that she and Ding Xia are also in a relationship holding hands. So she and Ding Yi are childhood sweethearts? An old sweetheart who has been together for a long time? The bitter Mandarin ducks of true love who are forced to separate for the sake of their future? Or is it an old relationship rekindled after many years? Unlucky. Tao Ran, who was about to pack his luggage, threw the box away. No way to go. At least we need to find out first whether Yang Yu's head is glowing green now, right? Since these three children are unusual, they must be taught a lesson. No, No, since the enemies are all gathered here, I have to give them some bad luck before leaving. The two of them talked and laughed and entered Ding Xia's room. Tao Ran was very unhappy. He opened the door and walked lightly to the back balcony, which was closest to the window of Ding Xia's room. The voices inside came out. Look, am I interesting? These are all brought back by my brother Jing Cheng. You can use them as you like. Your brother said he wanted to give it to me. I give it to you. Is my brother still not happy with it? Choose now. Tell your voice lower, it would be terrible if your sister-in-law hears it. She is from the city and a scholar. She always only stays in her boudoir. People don't come to my shabby room very often. She has never set foot in it. Ding Xia sneered. And I saw her carrying coffee to the gate. What's so good about something that looks like horse urine? It's just so stinky. What's so great about people in the city is that they're sleeping under me like my brother. Tao Ran couldn't help but sneer when he heard this. Yang Yu has never felt sorry for Ding Xia. How could she have such a mean face? Speaking of which, before Yang Yu got married, Ding Xia didn't even have a house. Now she is a married woman who still occupies a room in her parents' house, and she is ungrateful and arrogant. This family is really amazing. Ding Xia's voice suddenly stopped. Oh, look at your expression. Are you sad again when you talk about my brother and sister-in-law? Well, I was wrong. I will give you this imported lipstick as well. I heard that this color is highly sought after. Chiao, please try it quickly. You are so good looking, put on this lipstick, and everyone will keep it for a while and only look at you. Okay, I'll give you this brooch too. My brother brought it back. Dress it up well, and you will definitely outshine my sister-in-law. Tao Ran hissed, becoming more angry. Yesterday, Yang Yu and Ding Yi brought many gifts back to Ding's house. Among them was a package of skincare products and cosmetics that Ding Xia specifically asked for, saying she was bringing them for her husband's family. Not only were these things chosen by Yang Yu here and there, but they were all paid for by Yang Yu. A large package of 77.88 cost more than 3,000 yuan in total. Ding Xia had helped the Yang family a lot when Yang Yu was in confinement, so Yang Yu was very grateful to her, and Yang Yu would naturally not settle the money with her. When Ding Xia took the package of cosmetics last night, she just thanked it and had no intention of paying for it. Yang Yu didn't take it to heart. But Yang Yu's generosity obviously did not make these people feel any sincerity towards her. The Yang family's money was not stolen, nor was Yang Yu's intention fulfilled in this way. These people are shameless and need to be dealt with. After returning to the room, Tao Ran listened to the noise and went downstairs a minute after the two people. The guests on the cement court in front of the door were almost 90% seated, and the banquet was about to begin. The woman was very familiar with things. After finding Ding's mother, she started to roll up her sleeves. Auntie, are you too busy with so many people here? I'll take care of it. Ding's mother smiled brightly. Chiao, you are the best. No, you are so beautiful today, so you have to sit there and eat deliciously. If you can help me, there are many relatives. You know, I've always been restless, and I'm only happy when I have something to do. Brother Yi and I grew up together, and I'm Xiaoxia's best friend. I'm also half a relative of the Ding family, right? Don't worry, leave it to me to serve the food today. Come on. This Chiao girl directly grabbed a large tray of cold dishes from Ding's mother and started serving them table by table without saying a word. Tao Ran chuckled. This girl, it's April, it's not too hot, but it's hard work. However, it is indeed eye-catching. He is good-looking and has bright makeup. He is outstanding in this rural area. The dishes are served table after table, and the corners of the skirt fly up, revealing a section of the delicate calf, which is quite pleasing to the eye. Look, Ding Yi and his brothers are all looking at this beautiful girl's waist and legs. It's a pity that the girl's thoughts are all on face. Mom. I'm here. What do you want me to do? She came before anyone else. Tao Ran's clear and joyful standard Mandarin attracted everyone's attention. A slim figure walked out of the wide open door of Ding's house. If you want people to pay attention, why go around the table? Wouldn't it be nice to just stand at the golden point of the stage? Tao Ran walked with the wind, wearing a white shirt and black trousers with a long red windbreaker, long ponytail, big red lips and long boots. He strode forward with a 2.8-meter aura, which directly stole the attention of Xiao Xiao girl. Even though she didn't smile brightly at everyone like Xiao Xiao, she just raised her lips slightly. Yang Yu is white, rich and has a good temperament, while Tao Ran is a born king of the stage. Even if he changes his shell, his demeanor will not change, and he will naturally be the center of attention wherever he goes. Wow, city girls are different. Do they look like they came out of a TV series? No wonder Ding Yi wants to marry a girl from the capital. I didn't show any flesh, and I didn't show a smile, but it was like I was wearing a light. It's so beautiful. Much better than the village girls here. If I want to go to college, I have to marry someone like this. Xiao Xiao had just arrived at the table where Ding Yi brothers were serving food. When she heard this, she stamped her feet angrily. When she turned around, she almost slammed a plate of ribs on the head of the sister-in-law at the next table. The sister-in-law rolled her eyes and let out a meaningful sneer. This guy, you have to keep your eyes wide open to see the reality when you walk. Tao Ran, who had been observing secretly, took in his sister-in-law's cold words and the teasing of the people around him. Ha, it seems that there are quite a few people in Murakami who know that Xiao Xiao is interested in Ding Yi. Mother Ding was also looking at her daughter-in-law. Her hair was tied up and her clothes were neat and tidy. They all came according to her own requirements. Everyone was praising her daughter-in-law for her beauty. But why does she feel uncomfortable? Do you always feel that your best son is inferior to your wife? Mother Ding took her daughter-in-law and introduced her around. Ding Xia also came out with her child in her arms. After Ding Xia and Ding Yi gave their congratulations, the banquet began. My surname is Chiao, and my only name is Chiao. My sister-in-law is new here, so please follow me and learn how to serve food. Xiao Xiao adjusted her attitude and took the initiative to say hello to Yang Yu. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 75. Xiao Xiao directly gave Yang Yu a look. She was obviously stimulated by Yang Yu's shining appearance, so she worked hard to perform well and create a contrast. She raised her chin and asked Ma Ding, who was in charge of serving food, to put 8 bowls of starters on the iron tray in her hand, then turned around and left. Xiao Xiao is so capable. Ding's mother couldn't help but praise from the bottom of her heart. Tao Ran felt the same way. His small body but his huge strength was truly extraordinary. Since this was the first hot dish, it was very solid. It is said to be a bowl, but it is actually similar to a small basin. It is filled with 8 items such as meatballs, fish balls, pig trotters, quail eggs, etc. Coupled with the heavy tray, the weight is really heavy. I'm not that capable, I can only serve 4 bowls. Tao Ran smiled. It's the first time for my Yu. 4 bowls are already very capable. Ding's mother smiled like a flower, well, a chrysanthemum full of pleats. Is the point of serving food? It's the attitude of city people who are willing to act like cows and horses for the sake of Lao Ding's family. Let's go, be careful. Yeah, no problem. Tao Ran hesitated, but as soon as he picked up the tray, the Chiao girl over there was already coming back. Seeing Yang Yu's clumsiness, Xiao Xiao couldn't help but smile scornfully. The city people are really useless, the embroidered pillows are useless, and I don't know what kind of charming tricks they use to get into Brother Yi. Tao Ran took in Xiao Xiao's little expression, took a deep breath, and then suddenly walked out of the temporary kitchen in the lee of the side of the building at a faster pace. Laugh. Let's see if you smile next second. Let's see if you cry today. Let's see if you regret today. Seeing that he was about to pass Jiao Ran, who was taking long strides, suddenly turned his head and walked towards the girl directly. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. While Ran yelled in panic, he pushed the tray in his hand horizontally, half knocked it out, and released his hand the moment he touched Jiao. Jiao never thought that Yang Yu would deliberately bump into her with something, and it was too late to avoid it. Jiao subconsciously started screaming when she saw 4 bowls of thick and sticky hot food being poured on her. She doesn't want to make a fool of herself. She doesn't want to be embarrassed. Her new dress. Her beautiful image. Jiao howled like a slaughtering pig and was splashed with sticky vegetables at the same time. The head, face, and body are all exuding a strong fragrance. Everyone was attracted by the screams and crashing sounds, and they all came to help after screaming. Jiao burst into tears, wiped her face, peeled off the pig's trotters on top of her head, shook off a hand of pig skin, and pointed at Tao Ran with her fingers stained with green onions. Yang Yu, you are going too far. You actually threw the vegetables on purpose. Everyone took a deep breath and looked at Yang Yu. The point where the two collided was next to a tree on the side of the building. Because of the obstruction, no one saw what happened. It turned out to be no accident. Yang Yu stood there stupidly, making no sound. Mother Ding came up quickly. Yu, are you not careful? Although the daughter-in-law is not lovable, she has a good heart and would never harm anyone intentionally. On the other hand, Jiao, who usually looks very smart, why does he talk nonsense when he opens his mouth, without caring about the Ding family's face? Xiao Yu, are you scared to death? If your hands were shaking just now, apologize to Jiao. Auntie, she did it on purpose. It's not that her hands are shaking, Jiao's carefully dressed up was ruined in one day. A lot of people were laughing at her. She no longer cared about her face. I'm sure she bumped into me on purpose. The moment the tray hit me, the woman's eyes were so terrifying that she still has lingering fears even thinking about it. Jiao, shut up first and let Yu speak. Ding Yu rushed up. Yu, are you not injured? Tao Ran didn't even look at him, avoided his hand, stared at Jiao, and slowly shook his head. Jiao sneered. Don't you dare to refute. Are you feeling guilty? Tao Ran continued to shake his head, looking disappointed. Are you saying I pushed you? Or did I push you on purpose? This is the first time I've seen someone so shameless and gossiping like you. Tao Ran's acting skills were perfect, his aggrieved eyes were instantly filled with water, and he bit his trembling lips lightly. Whether it was the slapping of eyelashes, the shrug of shoulders or the heavy breathing, he was all expressing his grievance. I push you. You are the evil one who complained first. What did you say? Jiao shouted again. Yang Yu, you are so shameless. Stop talking yet, Ding Yi shouted to stop Jiao again. It was also the first time that he saw his wife so aggrieved. Of course, he also believed that Jiao was a good girl, so there must be a misunderstanding. You are the evil one who complained first. This time, Tao Ran took a deep breath and spoke quickly and loudly, without giving Jiao a chance to interrupt. You are the one who is really shameless. I was thinking just now, you knew clearly that it was my first time to use the tray, and you deliberately bumped into my tray. What was your intention? Now I know, you are deliberately trying to wrong me. Tao Ran sniffed. I'm holding a tray. Shouldn't normal people run away when they see me coming? How could you be bumped into by me? There's something wrong with this logic. And today is a banquet at my house. There are so many guests. I am the host. Yes, are you out of your mind and want to ruin your own banquet to make people laugh? Also, this is my first time attending a banquet in the village and my first time helping to serve food. Don't I want to lose face? Why do I do this? What about you? Is that onion worth losing my reputation? Tao Ran's words were filled with tears, which made the people around him look much softer. Yes. Ding Yi's wife is right, indeed, it doesn't make sense. And the most important thing, you tell me, today is the first time I see you. I don't even know who you are. Why would I do such a thing? Can you explain these 4 points? Xiao Qiao was confused by Tao Ran's series of words and could not refute for a while. Tao Ran, I also want to ask you, why did you ask me to follow you to serve the food with ulterior motives, and then turned around and bumped into my tray? You are so slanderous. Isn't this the first time I see you? What reason do I have to bump into you? Xiao Qiao was furious. But as soon as she asked this question, she felt something was wrong. Why else? Because of jealousy, sure enough. When she asked, many ants behind her who knew about her previous relationship with Ding Yi started laughing. They both have red ponytails. The daughter-in-law of the Ding family didn't realize it before she came out. But now she looks at it. One is a small wildflower that was stepped on casually on the roadside, and the other is a big peony that can't be bought. Is it really necessary to compare? As long as it's not, even if you are blind, you can see up and down. The girls in the city look much prettier than her in whatever they dress up. When she feels sour, she gets angry and makes trouble. She wants to make others look bad while pretending to be a mistress. She's not still thinking about Ding Yi, is she? It's a pity that people don't like her. You have a child, and you will come back to look for her. Look at her face today. It's as white as the wall, and her lips are as red as if she's eaten raw meat. It's only April, and she's already wearing a skirt. She steps on her high heels. She really thinks she can climb the mountain. A chicken pretending to be a phoenix. You don't know that when she saw a girl coming out of the city, her eyes were on fire and she almost dumped a plate of ribs on sister-in-law Sue's head. Who doesn't know that she has been chasing Ding Yi for so many years? She was obviously jealous. So he hit someone and wanted to frame him. How bad? Let me tell you, the girl from Renchinj is a college student, an intellectual, and her family is all cotters. How could she do such a thing? And can she do it? Is it stupid for a country bumpkin to lose her reputation? I heard you. Ding Yi's wife just kept shouting at her to get out of the way, but she just bumped into her. Oh, what do you mean by that? You're just asking for humiliation. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 76. Everything the villagers said to each other fell into Qiao Qiao's ears. Qiao Qiao held her head, almost ready to collapse. She suddenly discovered that, let alone Murakami, even Ding Xia looked at her with a hint of reproach. No one believed her? Where could she go to reason? Only now did she understand that the person bumping into him was not reckless, but that he had foreseen the outcome. Ding Yi's wife is indeed not a good person. I didn't. I really didn't. I swear, I am the victim. But who will listen to her explanation? The yellow mud falls off the crotch, it is either shit or shit. No one wanted to listen to her, and no one wanted to give her a chance to speak. No, Ding Xia rushed over immediately at Ding's mother's signal, dragged her away, saying that she looked too ugly and wanted to freshen up first. Tao Ran's narrowed eyes flashed. Reach the goal. With her here, no one can bully Yang Yu. When she dared to take action, her biggest reliance was that she had no motive and no rationality for her actions. This ensured her victory. In fact, it doesn't matter even if she misses. Even if Ding Yi's long-term plan has only progressed a little, he will definitely sacrifice everything to protect her. In this case, no trouble is in vain. It made her happy, but many people were troubled. Tao Ran held his chin up, with an angry expression on his face, his chest heaving, and his whole body was shaking with anger. Ding Yi went to pull her, but she threw him away in front of everyone. Looking out, Ding Yi suddenly felt guilty. He didn't know how many whispers his wife had heard just now, and he was a little panicked for a moment. I've always been upright, and I haven't offended anyone. Why am I being ostracized? Tao Ran closed his eyelids and burst into tears. Wrongful, pitiful, distressed. But although everyone present supported her in their hearts, they had no choice but to criticize her. What did they say? It's hard to tell her that love rivals are extremely jealous when they meet, right? Some sisters-in-law quickly said some words to persuade her not to take it seriously. Ding Ma was so angry that she gritted her teeth. That damn girl Qiao Qiao is here to cause trouble. I really have no vision. What kind of occasion is it today? I finally invited several village chiefs from nearby. Why did such an embarrassing thing happen? I'd better go back to the city first. Yang Yu's soft words made the Ding family mother and son nervous. Ding's mother became even more angry at Qiao Qiao. She glared at her son bitterly and quickly told everyone to continue eating and drinking. Then she and Ding Yi stepped forward to comfort Yang Yu. Mother and son both knew that their daughter-in-law was more important to their family than hundreds of village chiefs. Tao Ran glanced at Ding Yi. My hand was injured last night, but I didn't say anything and endured the pain to help. I really didn't expect this result. Injured? What's going on? Mother Ding looked at her son. He hit me and pushed me, Tao Ran said coldly. I'm going to kill you, you traitor. Mother Ding's face turned dark when she heard this, and she slapped her son's arm several times without hesitation. Crazy. Is your son so brainless? If such a good wife ran away, where would he find such a stupid person to climb up with? Seeing Yang Yu shaking her head with a look of disappointment, how could Mother Ding not let her vent her anger? Even though many people were secretly looking over, she just kicked her son again. Mom, no, I fell asleep and dreamed accidentally. Shut up, Mother Ding slapped her away again. Daughter-in-law, don't worry. As long as Mom is here, I will definitely help you. If this traitor bullies you in the future, you will tell Mom. If he hits you once, Mom will slap him 3 times. Okay. At this time, how could Mother Ding let her daughter-in-law work, so she naturally asked Yang Yu to sit down and rest. Tao Ran raised his eyebrows. So, you still want her to work? Still want to belittle her and train her? Still want to make her angry? Dream. Not only did she tell Ding's mother that she couldn't succeed, she also forced her to beat her son several times in public. Everyone present was aware of this and probably realized how important her daughter-in-law was to the Ding family. And, do you think this is the end? Tao Ran raised his head, glanced at the second floor of the small building, and then curled his lips. Having sister here will definitely make you restless. 5 minutes later, Tao Ran came to the table directly in front of the small building where Ding Yi had toasted not long ago. Can I sit here? She asked with a generous smile. Of course it's okay. The men exchanged glances and couldn't say a single word. Tao Ran chose this table specially. Sitting at this table were the village chiefs, village leaders, and their wives from several nearby villages. Since they are all leaders, they are located in the most upright, front, and spacious position, which is almost the main table. Moreover, except for the boss and his wife, there are no other miscellaneous people arranged at this table, so there is still room at this table. Tao Ran took the initiative to sit down, and the others were naturally embarrassed to ask her to go to another table. Just like that, seeing that Mother Ding had come to stop her, Taoran turned his back to her, grabbed a chair from the next table, took the cups, bowls, and chopsticks and sat down, poured a glass of wine, and took the initiative to toast. Mother Ding could only retract her hand unwillingly. She was so angry. She really can. Unexpectedly, I came to the leadership table. Let her rest, not let her rest at the wine table. She can't serve food, but she can still make a vase and stand respectfully behind her. What's going on with her sitting with the village leaders? Then isn't she on an equal footing with those leaders? Her son didn't even sit in, so how could she have such a big face? Will your son go to toast later? She is sitting high up, what do you think everyone will think? Everyone can say that the Ding family fawns over her just like they do to their boss. Now, I am too embarrassed to go up and pull people down. Ding's mother is depressed, so why not Ding Yi? He also felt that his face was dull and he quickly stepped forward. Xiao Yu, let's sit at another table. Some cousins at home want to talk to you. Ding Yi quickly apologized to the leaders and signaled to Yang Yu that she could not sit at this table. No, Xiao Yi, please leave your wife behind as soon as possible. We all like your wife, we met so late, and we are having a lively conversation. Right, Huang Yakan, the wife of the village chief, spoke, and several other cotter wives also echoed. That's right. Don't worry, Xiao Yi, we will take good care of your wife. Yes, go ahead and leave your wife to us. What? Is Yang Yu so popular? Ding Yi was speechless and wanted to pick out his ears. And the next moment, he was pushed away by two ladies who got up at the same time. What the hell? What the hell? In just a few minutes, strangers can have a very happy and exciting conversation with each other, but they still keep saying that they regret seeing each other so late? Why is it that no one has met him so late? No one invited him to sit down? What might be done? Ding Yi was pushed away just like that. Taoran smiled and clinked glasses with the ladies and drank them happily. Of course we meet too late. As soon as Taoran sat down, he started scattering sweet dates. When she introduced herself, she raised her glass and revealed the delicate bracelet on her wrist. More updates tonight. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 77. In the countryside, most jewelry is made of gold, silver, and jade, but the colorful diamond bracelet on Yang Yu's hand is better than the style. It shines under the natural light and makes her wrist especially delicate and white. It immediately attracted the attention of several older ladies at the same table. Oh, it's so beautiful. Things in the capital are exquisite. Huang Yakan glanced at the gold bracelet she had worn on her hand for more than 10 years. She suddenly felt tacky and couldn't help shrinking her wrist. Taoran saw it and said generously, "Little gadget, if you don't mind it, I'll give you one as a gift." Huang Yakan was immediately flattered. She had wanted to ask what kind of material it was made of, whether it was expensive or not, and where it could be sold. She thought that she would buy one next time she had the chance to go to the capital. The last time she went to the capital was more than 10 years ago. At that time, the capital didn't have such beautiful things. Taoran's generosity also attracted the attention of the other ladies at the table who were listening attentively. No, to be precise, everyone at the table looked at it. Although the village chiefs and cotters pretended not to notice, they could no longer hide their eyes. Everyone knew that the daughter-in-law of the Ding family was a wealthy person in the city, and she seemed to be a rare and generous wealthy person. Huang Yakan waved her hand, "You don't need to give it away, just tell me where to buy it in Beijing, and I'll buy it myself next time." "It's okay. It's not expensive. This is either real gold or gold-plated. These diamonds are not real diamonds, they are colored diamonds. They are really not expensive, with a market value of 200. It is unique and beautiful. Each diamond is hand-selected and color-matched. Each item is different. These are all exported goods. If you want to buy them, you can't buy them. So, if you like, I can only send it to you. Tao Ran put on an innocent, bright, straightforward, and sincere smile. This is 90% true. Tao Ran saw the other ladies at the table who were immersed in eating and drinking, with envious expressions on their faces, and smiled again. I have a few more, let's share them at this table, that's enough. Thank you for your wisdom. I know that rural areas have a large population, with 7 aunts, 8 aunts, and all kinds of relatives scattered all over the place. It was rare for Yang Yu to come to the countryside, so naturally she had to prepare some gifts. What can I give? Before coming, Yang Yu had a headache. The gift was too cheap, and I was afraid that the Ding family would have some ideas. After all, my son was given to their family. It was not too shabby, and it would also make the Ding family look bad. But if you want to give too much, firstly, it is unnecessary, and secondly, you are afraid that after this time, the gifts will become more and more expensive in the future. In the end, the old man came up with the idea. That day, the old man took his granddaughter to visit the antique market he went to every day. The dazzling array of jewelry and parts made of various materials opened Yang Yu's eyes. She finally chose a bracelet handmade by Lao Zhangtu's family. The price is 200, and the wholesale price of very good bracelets is only 50. If you buy more, you can get a discount. In the end, she bought 15 pieces at a price of 30, intending to give them to Ding Yi's cousins who didn't need to be familiar with them and couldn't pretend not to see them. The old man told her to wear the same style, so that her relatives would think it was a good thing. Yang Yu listened and has been wearing this bracelet since arriving in the village. The old man really hit the mark. Last night, a cousin came to the door and took a fancy to her bracelet. When she said that after the banquet today, all the cousins had one, she almost jumped into a jumping frog. Ha, but in this situation, the Ding family still wants to spend Yang Yu's money. It's more like a dream. Tao Ran didn't plan to give these bracelets as gifts, so he might as well use them to borrow flowers and offer them to the Buddha. Tao Ran didn't think much about it. Anyway, there was no harm in being friends with these local snakes in the village. He wanted to leave the village, but with these people here, it might be a piece of cake to send her directly to the provincial capital. And if these people can take advantage of it, they might be able to trample on the Ding family. Therefore, Tao Ran smiled gently, kindly, and approachable, and planned to get along well with these people. I'll get it to you after dinner. How much? We'll pay for it? It's okay. My classmate got it from the factory. My family is kind to her family, so this little thing is nothing. I brought it out just to give it away. You just said it was exported. Which country did it go to? Japan and Korea. Oh. Singapore. Ah. And Europe. Wow. Tao Ran was talking nonsense seriously. Although it is already 2008, the mentality of this remote rural area is still basically stuck in the 1990s. In these people's minds, things used by foreigners must be of the highest quality. You can't buy it in China, so it's definitely a good thing. The interest of the women at the table has been raised to the highest point. Ding Yi suddenly appears and wants to take Yang Yu away. What will happen? The duck that has reached its mouth will fly away, which will make people stunned to death. Look at that sparkling little bracelet, it's so pretty. Much more beautiful than the earthen gold on their wrists. A bracelet instantly brought the relationship between Yang Yu and his wives closer. At the table where they were laughing and talking, Yang Yu unknowingly became the center point. As for the guests at other tables, looking at the lively atmosphere at the main table, they began to become more and more curious about Ding Yi's wife. What kind of girl is this? Amazing. She was a foreigner, sitting at a strange table, How could she establish a relationship with those cotters in just a few words? Look, at this moment, why are all the men and women at that table looking like two idiots, with blushing faces and deep smiles on their faces as they look at Ding Yi's wife and talk endlessly? For those who didn't know, they thought Ding Yi's wife was a leader from Beijing. Unknowingly, people at every table began to inquire about Yang Yu's family background and abilities. Everyone at every table began to envy Ding Yi for his good fortune. With such a well-rounded and good wife, it was no wonder that he could stand firm in Beijing and easily get ahead. The Ding family failed to achieve their goal. Instead, they made their daughter-in-law stand out, and everyone was so angry that their mouths were twisted. They also don't understand. When did the village cotters who used to have great authority become so approachable? Look, even the village chiefs looked at Yang Yu, listened carefully, and wanted to take notes. The truth is, it's not complicated. After Yang Yuehao gave her the bracelet, several village officials became curious about her and asked her what her family did. After asking, I found out that her family members were all cotters. Especially her grandfather, who retired from the education department. Huang Yakan's husband, the village chief Lei Qiuxing, became excited immediately. He also serves as the principal of the nearby Wukan primary school. Although the total number of primary schools in the 5 villages he manages only has more than 100 students, he is in the same industry as Grandpa Yang Yu. It sounds like Grandpa Yang Yu is pretty good. He has been an official in the capital. If he gets involved in more connections, he will never be able to suffer a loss. Village Chief Lei suddenly got excited and started singing a positive and uplifting melody. In this regard, it was pretty much the same. As long as the direction was good, it was nothing more than all kinds of praise for the motherland and the organization. Tao Ran started talking casually. To this end, Tao Ran moved a lot of lines from the main theme movie he participated in the year before. From rural construction to rural poverty alleviation, everything is practical, positive, and beneficial. Under the guidance of the feelings of family and country, the leaders subconsciously nodded in agreement as if participating in a meeting at the beginning, and then listened carefully. Soon, the eyes looking at Yang Yu changed from curiosity to solemnity. Ah, talent! I know more than them and can speak better than them. They praised, and naturally they also talked about this year's Olympic Games. The capital welcomes you. Tao Ran's majestic expression was as sincere and upright as a news broadcast anchor, looking at ease. Ah, goddess! Thank you to the babies for voting, thank you to the beautiful Princess Silly Tiger Baby for the reward, and thank you all for your support. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 78. Tao Ran was eloquent. When she got tired, she changed her tone. I really want to get close to my motherland and feel it. I must not miss this Olympics. If you are willing, come to BJ this summer. My family, Ding Yi, will provide all-inclusive accommodation and food. Do you want to watch the game? We will make arrangements then. At the wine table, there is a lot of bragging involved, so there is no need to take it seriously. But the words were so beautiful, and when they were thrown out, they still made everyone at the table feel comfortable. At least, the drunkenness has aroused. Several ladies immediately started making noises, and everyone at the table clinked glasses together and had sex with each other. The enthusiasm was so intense that all the guests at the other tables were dumbfounded. Why does that Yang Yu look like an old friend for many years rather than meeting the leaders for the first time? Village Chief Lei, if we had time and opportunity, we would really like to experience the Olympics and feel the power of our motherland. Our mountain village is so isolated that we should go out and have a look. To be honest, Xiao Yi is still going to make a difference. Xiao Yu, don't you? I know, Xiao Yi is the first college student in our 5 villages to pass the BJ exam. I have to say something against my will. Xiao Yi's family was in trouble back then. In order for Xiao Yi to go to school well, everyone has been helping his family and solving his problem. The family has no worries. Therefore, everyone in our village plays an important role in why Xiao Ai is today. Tao Ran understands. That's so. I think back then, the Ding family received a lot of help from the villagers. It is precisely the more benefits you receive, the more you feel inferior to yourself and the more you want to prove yourself. That's why I become more and more perverted, wanting to look good, wanting to be popular, and wanting to be a master. Tao Ran's heart turned. As the village chief, you also help Ding Yi a lot, right? Haha. I am not self-effacing. I have to say yes. Although Ding Yi is named Yi, it is really not easy. At that time, as the principal, I exempted him from tuition for 6 years. He lived up to his expectations and passed the exam in the town. In junior high school, I personally took him to see the principal of the junior high school and applied for a scholarship. In the first academic year, he ranked among the top 10 in the school. The village also funded him to make up classes in the town. He then entered a key high school in the city. The village also collected money for his tuition and living expenses. In order to reduce the burden on his family, I also organized manpower to help his family during busy farming times. Then you are really Ding Yi's great benefactor. You are indeed a benefactor, but it's a pity that the Ding family are all white-eyed wolves. The village chief would definitely not lie in front of so many people. However, the Ding family never mentioned the financial aid provided by the villagers in the past. My grandfather always told me that gratitude should be repaid, and I think Ding Yi thinks the same way. What I just said is from the bottom of my heart. I sincerely invite the village chief to visit the capital and watch the Olympics. It just so happens that my family has a vacant house, so I can live in it directly. The location is very good. You can watch the flag raising in the morning, watch the game at noon, and eat roast duck in the evening. Tao Ran just made a spur-of-the-moment idea and planned to cause trouble for the Ding family. As soon as Ding Yi got home yesterday, he started to invite his family members to fly to Beijing to watch the Olympic Games in the summer, and planned to arrange for them to live in the house they had just replaced. Ding Xia and her husband were so happy that they spun around in circles, and Ding's mother even flew several times with her grandson in her arms. Now that she is helping Ding Yi boast about Haikao, Ding Yi will definitely not be happy if the leaders are going to the capital. It costs money. Who pays for this? Tao Ran wouldn't do it anyway. Since he was Ding Yi's guest, it was natural for Ding Yi to come out. How can Ding Yi do this? Then, he can either block the leader or pay for it out of his own pocket. If it is the former, what will be damaged is his reputation and the face of the Ding family. He will also offend the village leaders and have a reputation of being dishonest and not repaying kindness. It was he and the Ding family who were unlucky. If it is the latter, not only will Ding Yi feel aggrieved and his wallet hurt, but it will also directly harm the interests of Ding's family. What will the Ding family do then? Are you going to the capital? Can you watch the Olympics? The house is occupied by village leaders. Where do they live? Hotel. Are you willing to spend money? What should they do as a family that has planned to take advantage of watching the Olympics to gradually occupy the magpie's nest? Do you want to make a noise or make a fuss? Therefore, there are pits on both sides. Jump however you want, whatever you want. After all, it's the person named Ding who is troubled. Tao Ran Balabala said, using Ding Yi's name to fool the leaders into laughing and laughing. Ding Yi has benefited from the village. Now that he is successful, he will naturally repay the favor. If there is any need in the village, as long as there is, you guys will give the order, and we, Ding Yi, will definitely take the lead. Ha ha ha, it's not easy for Xiao Yi to take root in the capital, and it's hard to make money in the capital. We are satisfied when we see Xiao Yi's future. Ding Yi is rich, and he can't spend all his money every month. Tao Ran's eyes were bright. More than 7,000, it sounds like a lot, but it's actually not very useful, right? The capital costs a lot, and you've been pregnant and giving birth in the past few years. It's all up to him to support your small family in the capital, and also to subsidize your family in the countryside. Look at this small building, I heard that it was all built with a loan from him. It's not easy. Taoran scoffed coldly. Shameless. When did he build this building? When did he take care of the family? When did he earn 7,000 a month? With his poor expertise, he couldn't do anything right. After introducing him to the work unit, the Yang family used their friends and relatives to take him in. He worked for 3 years, but still stayed the same, barely raising his salary to 4,330 yuan. It was worse than Yang Yu, whose career had stagnated after giving birth to a child. My income is already 5,000 a month. He doesn't know how to make progress, but he has the shame to brag everywhere. 7,000. Do not. Too little. Since he wanted to brag, Taoran planned to help him. It's more than 7,000. 7,000 is just a guarantee. The money in the capital is hard to use, but it's easy to earn. He can make at least this amount a month. Taoran gestured with his finger. Don't worry, village chief. Now that Dingyi is rich, it's time to repay the village. Does the school want to donate books? Does the village want to build roads? Is there anyone who is widowed or lonely and needs money? We, Dingyi, will definitely not say anything. This time, village chief Lei's eyes really lit up. Their area is too poor. To educate college students is not only to help everyone get rid of poverty and become rich as soon as possible, but also to give back to the village in the future. Really? It's no problem to spend 3,000 to 4,000 a month to help the village. Our Wukan primary school does lack some tables, chairs, and outdoor activity facilities. The Lois field at the door also needs funds to be poured into a cement floor. As for the road, he has always wanted to repair it, but he just didn't have the money. If there was a road leading to the town, the village would be better, right? No problem, just leave it to Dingyi. Okay. Yang Yu, what a good girl, you are so generous. I thank you on behalf of the students of Wukan Primary School. Are you free tomorrow? Take Dingyi to my house for dinner, let's talk in detail? Taoran smiled brightly. Ding family members, either admit to lying before, or start doing real things from today on. If you don't go tomorrow, the village chief will definitely come to visit you. When the time comes, you can discuss it slowly. Don't you want to save face? Let's see how you end up. But from today on, they can't even think of using Yang Yu's money, including his salary card. Not only that, she had to let these white-eyed wolves spit out the money little by little. Thanks to Shuchen's Iao for the reward, express your feelings. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 79. Xiao finally returned to the banquet after finally tidying up and spending a long time mentally building herself up. But what she saw when she appeared was Yang Yu mingling with the leaders, and village chief Lei was still taking the initiative to toast Yang Yu. Why? Why are the people in the whole village so arrogant? Are city dwellers inherently noble? Are these leaders so vulgar? She was already feeling very sad, but when she turned around, she saw Ding's mother complaining again. Dingyi was not happy, and everyone was making fun of her. After all, she couldn't sit still, so she covered her face and trotted away. Taoran has been secretly sizing up Dingyi. As soon as Xiao left, Dingyi's eyes unconsciously glanced several times in the direction where she disappeared. This is interesting. Do these two people really love each other? After 3 rounds of drinking, the mood at the wine table has risen, and everyone is becoming familiar with each other. Tao Ran was not polite and asked directly about the relationship between Xiao Xiao and Ding Yi. I have to find out about this. If I knew there was a story between them, I would never serve food with Miss Xiao. I have the right to know this kind of thing. Ding Yi must be embarrassed to tell me, everyone just don't hide it from me, right? Tao Ran pulled Huang Yakin's sleeve. She made contact with her and found that this lady was quite cheerful. Huang Yakin was embarrassed to take Tao Ran's bracelet for nothing, so she didn't cover it up. This matter is not a secret. You are the person involved, and you will find out sooner or later. I am not afraid of being a bad person, so I will tell you. Sure enough, Ding Yi and Xiao Xiao were childhood sweethearts. The two are not in the same class. Ding Yi is 3.5 years older than Xiao Xiao. But Xiao Xiao and Ding Xia are in the same class. They play well and always go to and from school together. Neither of them was very good at studying, so Ding Yi often gave them extra lessons. Xiao Xiao admired Ding Yi very much. When she was a child, she often said that she would marry Ding Yi when she grew up. The villagers were happy to hear such words and often teased the two of them. Later, Ding Yi went to the town to attend junior high school and high school, and Xiao Xiao also went to the town to deliver meals several times. The Xiao family was joking at that time, saying that Ding Yi should stop taking the college entrance exam and marry Xiao Xiao as soon as possible and have a baby. During the high school graduation exam, Ding Yi felt that he did not do well in the exam and had no hope of going to college. He was very disappointed. During that time, Xiao Xiao accompanied him every day. During that period, the two of them worked in the fields together and fished in the water together. The Xiao family also asked people in the town to look at the factory and planned to arrange for the two of them to enter the factory. Everyone in the village knows this. But Ding Yi did not do badly in the college entrance examination. Soon, the admission notice came out. He actually got admitted to a university in Beijing. Although the major is not good and the school is not first class, it is the capital city. The Ding family went crazy with joy. And Ding Yi also took the initiative to distance himself from Xiao Xiao. It is said that Xiao Xiao, who was in the 3rd grade of junior high school at that time, wanted to drop out of school and follow Ding Yi to the capital, but Ding Yi persuaded him not to do so. The next year, Xiao Xiao, who graduated from junior high school, wanted to go to the capital again, but was persuaded by the Ding family. Xiao Yi is a college student, but you are just a junior high school student. The gap between you two is too big, and it is not suitable for you to be together. The words of the Ding family made Xiao Xiao go to high school. Another 2 years passed, and Xiao Xiao, who was really not a good scholar, dropped out of school after finishing her sophomore year in high school. She planned to go to the capital to find a job and look for Ding Yi, but that summer Ding Yi came back with his girlfriend, Yang Yu. Xiao Xiao saw the two talented and beautiful people, looking for life and death at home. Finally, Xiao's mother found her in the village. At that time, Huang Yakin did ideological work to persuade her. As a result, Ren Xiao Xiao didn't appreciate it, and instead said that she clung to city people and looked down on rural people. Huang Yakin was very angry and never talked to Xiao Xiao again. Father Xiao had no choice but to lock up his daughter for several days. With no money, thousands of miles away, and never leaving the village, Xiao Xiao failed to go to the capital. But Xiao Xiao still didn't give up and refused to get married. She was very picky about everyone, and all the young men within a few villages could not catch her eye. Even teacher who came to teach at Wukan Primary School 2 years ago, still despised people who were stupid and just left their lives in the city to come to the remote countryside. She said that such people are useless at first glance and have no ability or foresight. These words were so angry that even village chief Lei couldn't help but curse several times. She is almost 24 now. For rural people who get engaged at 17 or 18 and get married around 20, she is indeed an old girl. And she also has an unpleasant temperament, so many people in the village don't like her. Taoran he. Is it really true love? Rather affectionate. But so what? No matter how deep the love is, if you continue to entangle with the other party after the other party has been bound by marriage, it is still a despicable and trash-like existence. My mother-in-law likes her. Taoran smiled softly. Of course, what I like is the feeling of being supported, respected, and fawned over. With all due respect, she is capable and well-behaved when she is in front of your mother-in-law, but it is different than when she is in front of us. Huang Yakin lowered her voice. So Xiao Yu, you really need to be more careful about things like this today. It's easy to suffer losses. Fortunately, you read a lot and spoke clearly today. You made everyone believe you right away. Otherwise, if you were bumped into by her today, your reputation would be ruined. They say she is jealous, but in fact, everyone has not said it clearly. She just has not given up and is still thinking about your Xiao Yi. So the reason why I said it is for your own good. Xiao Yu, don't listen to women. Village Chief Lei patted his chest. Uncle Lei is here and he will make the decision for you. If there is such an unclear thing in the future, just come to Uncle Lei. Taoran immediately smiled sweetly and said, there is something wrong with you two. One calls himself sister and the other calls himself uncle. They are of the wrong seniority. Hurry up and drink as a penalty. Following those words, Taoran naturally called the village chief and his wife, jokingly saying that he would disturb them from time to time in the future. The table was filled with laughter, which made Ding Yi, who was sitting on the other side and felt inferior to others, feel unhappy. When he thought about his son-in-law's status, he was really depressed. Soon, the Ding family started to toast table after table with their 1-month-old baby in their arms. The first table is naturally the main table for the leaders. Everyone took out all the red envelopes. Ding Yi winked at Yang Yu. Yang Yu quickly handed over the exquisite red envelope she had prepared from her windbreaker pocket. Ding Yugong stuffed the red envelope into the girl's hand with a smile and frowned. Ding Xia's face froze when she received the red envelope. What happened? Why is the red envelope so thin? Flicking through the red envelope, there was only one card. Or one, blue and black. $10. Just 10 yuan? No, big mistake. Ding Yi pulled Yang Yu aside. Don't make trouble, I know you are angry with me, but you can't do this. You can't take away the money in the red envelope. Doesn't he want to lose face in front of everyone? He originally planned to feel proud today. He planned to give a heavy 5,000 yuan to his sister for her first child in public, so as to make his old Ding family look good. He and Yang Yu had discussed this money and came out of their savings. But now Yang Yu takes the money away when he is angry, which is too much. Taoran secretly rolled his eyes. Her drama hasn't even started yet. Let's see. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 80. Ding Yi was already trying his best to suppress his anger, but he didn't expect Yang Yu to be more excited than him. Not only did he throw away his hand, but he also pushed him, causing his face to turn red. Taoran, I'm angry with you, but it's not your turn to blame me. I'm more angry than you. Yu, everything is serious. I will make amends to you tonight. Now quickly bring out the money and gifts. I beg you. In addition to money, they also prepared a heavy gold lock as a gift for their nephew. Ding Yi, Taoran's voice suddenly became louder. I was bullied by you last night. I was bullied by a stranger just now. Do I still want to be bullied now? Do you know there was a thief in your room? What? I said, I wonder if there was a thief in the house or someone in your family stole the red envelope. Taoran's voice was just right, so Ding's mother, Ding Xia, and his wife, as well as the leaders at the table, could hear it. When thieves and money were involved, the Ding family's mother and son's expressions instantly changed, and they pulled Yang Yu into the house from left to right. Tao Ran looked calm and said calmly, "Before the banquet, I was going to get red envelopes and gifts, and then I found that only the paper shell was left in the red envelope, the gift was only in the packaging box, and the goldware was missing. She is first class in muddying the waters." She had already made up her mind that she would not let this banquet go smoothly, let alone make the Ding family happy. "How is that possible?" several people said in unison. "How is it impossible? Do I still want to lie to you?" Yang Yu looked angry and took out all the pockets inside and outside of his windbreaker, black tights, and shirt. "Did you see it? Didn't you?" Mother Ding and her son looked at each other, rushed upstairs together, and started rummaging inside the house. As a result, Yang Yu's handbag, their luggage, and the entire room were turned upside down. No gold lock was found. Only more than 300 yuan was found in Yang Yu's bag. Tao Ran sneered at Ding Yizi. "You have always been in charge of the money in our family. I only put some pocket money in my bag all year round. These 300 are not from the red envelope. The red envelope has always been in my bag. But before the banquet, I was about to go downstairs when I realized something was wrong. When I saw that the money and gold items were not there, I thought you had taken them. At that time, I was thinking why you didn't tell me. When you asked me to take the red envelope, I realized that it was wrong, so I quickly stuffed a piece of money in my pants pocket to pad it. I winked at you, but you didn't see it. Don't even think about doubting me. I am unfamiliar with your place, and there is no place to hide money or gold. What are you talking about? How could we doubt you?" In fact, few people really didn't doubt Yang Yu. They can trust her temperament. She was generous to everyone, and she took the initiative to buy the goldware. She usually sends large and small packages of things to the countryside, but she doesn't like the small amount of money. Besides, she didn't even leave the house. Where could she hide? Then I won't care about this. Now since Ding Yi, you don't know why the money is gone, then we can only say that there is a thief in the house. After all, not everyone can come in on the second floor and my room. The house is there are so many people, think about it for yourselves. The mother and son rummaged through the entire second floor again, but still found nothing. Tao Ran snorted and ignored them. He gathered his luggage and put all the bracelets scattered on the bed back into the box. He took the bracelets and other unsent gifts in plastic bags. "Just pick up everything and leave. It's all money." "You, what are you doing? If you don't take it away, it might be stolen later." Yang Yu didn't even look at Ding Yi, then turned back and put on all her jewelry. Ding Yi was choked by her and was speechless for a moment, but he had no intention of coaxing her. He saw Yang Yu's angry face, turned around and left in a big step. Of course, Tao Ran turned back half a minute later and stopped at the stairs to listen to a few words. In the room, Ma Ding was asking, "You really didn't take it? Didn't take it? Could it be that one?" "Mom, don't talk nonsense, she won't do it. But apart from our family, she is the only one who has ever gone upstairs. She could only go upstairs to find Xioxia. Will she ever come into this house again? Not really. I don't think so. Mom, you can't talk nonsense. Bah. She has a problem with your wife. The whole village saw it, but you didn't. If a woman gets jealous, what can't she do?" "No, I cannot." "Why not?" "She wanted to wrongly accuse Xiaoyu just now. She deliberately took away money and things, maybe just like deliberately bumping into Xiaoyu. She just wanted to embarrass Xiaoyu, want Xiaoyu to suffer, and want our family to have conflicts. I want you two to quarrel." "Mom, it must be an accident that Qiao bumped into Xiaoyu." "I believe her. A fascinating thing. Then who are you talking about? Ding's mother became angry. There are only a few people in our family. The things are meant for your sister, so she can't steal them for herself, right? Your brother is still young, does he have somewhere to spend the money? Then your dad and I are the only ones left. Is that what matters to us? I can tell you, even if Xiao Xiao is a fairy, just hold it back. Your wife is the one who lays the golden eggs in our family. Do you hear me? Tao Ran raised his eyebrows and left. Of course she took it. She hid the money and gold. Walking around with a coffee cup in the morning is actually looking for a place to hide something. Later, when she got to the backyard, she found a hollow bamboo tube, stuffed the money and gold items into it, made mud on both ends, and then stuffed it into the cracks of the chicken shed. She didn't believe that those people could be found in a short while. But she didn't think too much when she took the money and property, and she didn't plan to wrong anyone. After all, she had to leave by herself first, and she had to change her ticket after changing trains. As she said before, Ding Yi had always kept the money, and she had more than 300 with her. What if it's not enough? So, be prepared. If you leave alone, you still need to take a few thousand with you. Of course, more importantly, she never wanted to give money and gifts to these white-eyed wolves again. 5,000 gifts and gold utensils? Are they worthy? 10 yuan was enough, so she paid the beggar. Hee. The Ding family today is absolutely restless. They doubted each other, blamed each other, and blamed each other. Anyway, the suspects were the Ding family and the Qiao girl. She wanted to see if Ding Yi and Xiao Xiao could always trust each other to the end. She also wanted to see if Ding Xia and Xiao Xiao had a close relationship as sisters. She also wanted to see if Ding Xia would doubt her biological brothers. Dog eat dog, feel free. Even if that clever girl is really suspected, she is not unjust. She has stolen so much in the script, and this time she feels like being wrongfully accused of stealing, which is just her punishment. Returning to the wine table, Yang Yu kept his promise and placed a bag of exquisitely wrapped bracelets and gifts in front of the ladies. Sisters, take it and share it. In short, she didn't want to leave anything to the Ding family. As for the cousins in the Ding family, whether they are all waiting to get the bracelets or whether they will ask Ding Yi for the bracelets later, she has no control over. Thanks to Book Friends Tale number 50024, Baby, Bayo Bayo /U0026 Joe Bayo Bayo for the reward. Thank you all for your monthly recommendation. I love you.